Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adobe Photoshop 2025, lesson number 24, where we're going to be talking about the window menu inside of the main menu. So let's head over to Photoshop and take a look at the window menu. So I'm over here in Photoshop, and you can see as I go and I open up window, there is an array of information here. It's like, wow, look at all this stuff. Okay. So we're going to do a rough overview of all this information because there's so much here. And one thing that I want to point out right away are these right here, okay? So these are called panels, and each one of these panels have a pivotal role in Photoshop. These are all tools that you use in Photoshop. And so we're not going to sit here and talk about each one of those individually here. I want to take the time to talk about these separately later on in the course. So I'm just going to briefly go over them. And then later in the course, when we get more comfortable with all the information, I'll come back and I'll sprinkle them in either all together or where it fits, where it makes sense. Like with a project. Okay, we'll talk about a panel and then I'll do a project. Okay, something like that. I'm still working on the flow of that because I want to make it as easy to understand as possible, but also give you a visual demonstration. Because I myself am visual, and so if I just talk about it and don't show you anything, you're like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, especially if you're a visual learner like I am, okay? Now, I may be able to say something you'll understand, you'll be like, yeah, I get that, and that's fine too. So let's talk about the panels real quick. So we have actions, adjustments, brush settings, brushes. Okay, so brush settings and brushes is pretty straightforward. Adjustments, again, we'll talk more about this in projects. Actions is going to be a project, okay? I love this panel. I literally built out a lot of projects with actions, okay? And actions is basically, think of it like a recorder. It records your actions. It's like recording your steps, okay? It records everything you do. Then you hit play and it will do that again, okay? So it automates your process. It makes your life easier to build something out. Believe me, it works. The example I give you is I was doing data mining for my courses when I was selling on a website, on a platform. And so to analyze all the data, I needed to create a notebook with 200 courses, okay? And so I wanted to piece it all together and put information on there for the length of the course when it was created, how many students I had, what was the revenue, how many reviews did I have, how many coupons, etc. Okay, I want to have all these different data points. So I used actions to create 5 notebooks full of information. And literally I printed everything off because I wanted to see a visual aid of it. And I used actions to create all the different steps to create every single printout or data information, data print, data chart, whatever you want to call it. I accumulated all that information, then I brought it into Photoshop and I used actions to automate the process to create all this information quickly. And I literally just went onto the platform and screenshotted the information separately and then brought it into Photoshop, hit the actions button, and it literally resized everything to fit perfectly the way that I wanted it, the way I set it up. And I did that 200 times. So imagine trying to put that together without actions. That would have taken me a week to get that done because I wanted everything to be perfect. And so I had to make everything, I had to tinker with the sizes of all the screenshots, but it was worth it because when I was done with all the tinkering, I just threw it into actions and boom, it was done quickly, very quickly. So I will show you that project. I'm very proud of that project. It was a lot of fun to do. And it actually gave me a lot of good information about what I was doing from a business perspective. So it's very important and very cool. Channels, that's just color. And we're going to talk in depth about that in projects. Okay. Character styles. This has to do with text. Clone source. We'll talk about that. Color is this right here, your color wheel. I'll do a deep dive into that. Comments. You can write comments. Content credentials. Glyphs, gradients, we'll talk about these in projects, histogram, history, info, layer comps, layers, that's right here, Okay. Libraries, materials, measurement, log, navigator, notes, paragraph, paragraph styles, paths, patterns, properties, shapes, styles, swatches, timeline, tool presets, and version history. Version history relates to cloud documents, okay? And then you have application frame, options, tools, and contextual taskbar, which they added. Okay, this is an AI thing. This is the contextual taskbar right here. I actually think it's annoying, but I understand why they have it there, okay? Especially if you're using one monitor. If you have multiple monitors like I have, it's okay. But even then, I find it annoying, just so you know. Okay, so that covers the panels. And again, this is a very important part of Photoshop. The panels are really important because if you understand what each one of these do, if you understand the functionality of each panel, it's going to make your life easier. Okay, and we'll do a deep dive into that as we go along. I will walk you step by step through all those so you understand them on an intermediate level and you're comfortable with them. Because some of them, you know, I've used Photoshop for 20 years and some of them I've never even used before. Okay, so not all of them are relevant, but it's important to know them. Okay, so arrange is just the way to arrange your application, the way that everything is flowing, you know, tile, vertical, horizontal. I'm not going to fiddle with this. I don't really mess with the visual too much. You can, but again, that's more of an advanced thing where you get multiple monitors and then we bring in more panels, and I can definitely do a video on that if you want. But for this, for what we're doing, we're at the basic level here, so we're not going to dive into this at all, really. And then workspaces. So with this is like a template for different workspaces. So if you're doing essentials, that's the default layout. You have core tools. If you're doing motion, if you're doing painting, photography, and graphic and web, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different workspaces. You can also create a workspace. You can delete a workspace. You can reset essentials. So we will go through when we're building out projects, we'll pick a workspace, we'll build a workspace so you can really get a good understanding of it. But that's not really the purpose of this particular video. This is just an overview of where to find it, which is the window menu. Okay. Extensions. We've talked about plugins. Extensions are really the same thing. If I click on that, which I'm not going to do, it will take you to Creative Cloud or their website, depending on where the link goes, and you'll be able to grab extensions. Okay. They call them plugins now. It's all the same stuff. Extensions, plugins, I mean, they all do the same thing. It's just different verbiage is basically it. Okay. So that is the window menu. Okay. It's very exciting stuff. Very, very basic. But again, this leads us into more fun things to learn down the line. All right. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for checking out this lesson here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get an update anytime we upload new content right here on YouTube with Techemy. Also, check out the videos in the links in the description inside the video here to check out the latest lessons that are available with Adobe Photoshop 2025. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.